Welcome to the Voices of Redemption podcast. I've got my brother. I'd like to call him Valley Fitness, but he goes by Deonte, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself? Valley Fitness.
With the two Y's. It's your boy Valley Muscle with two Y's. My first name is Deonte, last name Ware. Got into this fitness game. Like I told my boys, yesterday marked my 4-year anniversary. I'm a high school football coach. And besides that, man, I just love being around this fitness game. And it's changed my mind, and it's done stuff for me that I don't feel like if I chose a different path, it would have done what I wouldn't have benefited the way I have now.
Right.
Like, if I chose a different path.
Right. I say the same thing with like my career, man, and the things that I do is like, people are like, well, what would you do if you weren't doing this? I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, this is just what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? And you can really tell that with you and what your passion is, man. And I know you got quite the story, bro. And I got the pleasure of meeting you at like I said, a celebrity softball game. What was that, 2 or 3 years ago, I want to say?
Yeah.
Probably two or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
And it wasn't like, you meet people there that are like networking and stuff like that. And you were like, you walked up to me, and I think I was with one of my
boys.
Yeah, my boys. And, you were like, y'all in the gym? And I'm like, well, damn, like, I'm not used to like someone like.
But y'all, because y'all looked like it.
Thanks, bro, you know what I mean? But, and got to connect with you there. And I've followed you on Instagram since then and kind of watched that whole journey and watched you like flourish. And, you be collaborating with some pretty big time people these days. And,
Man.
You got people stopping you on Muscle Beach to take pictures and shit. Like, like he's like a celebrity in that fitness area, man. So how did you, what inspired you to really get into the fitness game?
Oh, man. You want the long story? You want the short story?
We got plenty of time, brother.
To be honest with you, I went through a divorce, and
Okay.
for the longest of time, I really didn't know what I was gonna do with myself to bounce back out of the depression, the anxiety, and all the stuff that I was feeling. That was, I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. I was back at my parents' house, sleeping on the floor, kind of like trying to find my groove, and it wasn't until I heard a friend, pretty much tell me that I've lost myself. And I had been hearing this shit from people over the last few months, like, you're losing your size, like, grabbing me, like, bro, what happened to you? I'm like, I've always been from college to high school. I mean, from high school to college, played football, been in the gym, nice body, stuff like that. But it's never been to this length. But I've always had some type of, nice little structure about myself. But when I started to lose myself, I didn't see it, and it took me a long time to see it. And when I finally did, it was like I was like damn near a skeleton, bro.
Wow.
I remember I looked in the mirror one day after my friend had told me this, and I'm just like, I'm trying to, make my chest move, and it didn't move. And for the longest of time, I'm in the mirror doing it, and I felt like it was moving, but it was like, there's no way 2 days ago I was doing it, and then now I'm not doing it. It's like, so I've been psyching my mental out this whole time.
Right.
Just telling myself, because that's how confident I was about,
Yeah.
who I am. But that day I woke up, and like I said, February 20th, bro, 2020 is when I got into the gym, and it was like, I got my membership February 20th, actually. I think it was a Friday night. As a matter of fact, it was a Friday night. I didn't go into the gym until that Monday, the next following week, because I'm like, OCD, I got to start a fresh week. But I told myself, I get this membership, I'm hitting this shit hard, and it's a wrap. I got into the gym, and I was doing like 14 to 16 hour like workout days, but it wasn't like I'm in there just one time a day. I was in there 2 times a day. I would go in there from 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and be in there until 3, 4 in the afternoon, leave or whatever. But when I go in there the first time, I'm only doing abs. So I'm doing anywhere from like 1,500 to 3,000 reps of abs, just whatever I can do. But it's like,
I'm still working on that part.
but it's crazy because people would, like, you would think that, like, and I'm not gonna say I was just really cut at this time. Like, I wasn't built, but it was like helping me lose and like mask the pain and all the shit that I was dealing with once I got home in the real world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So once I would go home, and it was like all the shit would start weighing back on me. Okay, well, now it's time to go do this second shift, like, in a sense, like I'm working.
Right.
So I would go back to the gym around 8 p.m., 9 o'clock, be back in there, and I'd leave around 12, but sometimes I leave right before In-N-Out would close when I was eating red meat at the time. right before In-N-Out would close, and I would go to In-N-Out. You know, that would end my night with the protein or whatever, stuff like that. And after a while, man, people just started to pick up on who I was and how dedicated they seen me. And like, for the longest, man, I would tell people like, man, what I wanted to do. Like after I started to see what I could become, like just because how far it took me mentally. Yeah. I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about all the fame because I was fresh to all this social media stuff. I didn't know about an influencer and all that. I was married, went through a divorce. So that being married, I didn't have social media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
you hear that often,
So
bro.
all this social media stuff is like, it's new to me. So it took me a while to even get on Instagram. And I've had kids in the gym, older men in the gym, like, bro, get on Instagram, bro. You'll blow up fast and you'll do this. And I'm just like, man, I'm cool. Like, I'm not into making videos. I just like to work out. Right. But after a while, it's like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to just try it because I'm on Instagram. In a sense, just I would go on there just to, like on TikTok. You know, you don't have to really have an account, but you can watch other fitness stuff. So I'm like, you know what, let me take a crack at it. So I started doing stuff, but I really started to fall in love with working out, but being able to get a little small video here and there. And then it took off to me doing really crazy extreme stuff, doing ab rollouts across the top of the platforms in the gym and stuff like that. And then I just really, I found a niche. Like, it wasn't even like, that was my niche at the time, trying to do crazy stuff to catch people's eyes. But then it just like, I backed off of that because that can only go so far. Like, you know, and then really got involved with the kids. You know, I had a cousin that was playing football at Alamany High School, and some of the kids that I had already trained and known from like Pop Warner level. So I just like got involved with them in the gym and stuff like that, and they gave me a purpose.
Yeah, man, I love that.
And it was like, now I'm not just working out for myself anymore, and it just started to click more and more every time I'm around these kids. Like a lot of these kids, okay, one of my cousins right now is at San Jose State. The other kid, J-Rock, he's at USC. The other kid, my little dog Kevin, is at Arizona State. My little dog Efi is at Arizona State, and my little dog Joseph Swin is at Oregon State. So all these kids are D1 prospects, and it's like they look up to me. Yeah, bro. But I tell them all the time, like, I look up to you guys because you guys took it to a level that I didn't even get to take it to. Right. So I commend you guys because where we come from, in a sense like that, you know, people don't get that chance. Right. And you guys, you know, stood on your 10 and you got to where you needed to be. And it's like those type of kids are the reason why I still try to be who I am, like now to this day, like with the natural bodybuilding stuff. Like I'm trying to project stuff into the world now where it's like, how can I say this? Like, I don't knock other people, you know, with the enhanced counterpart of what I got going on and stuff like that, but the world has like made kids feel like the only way that you can get to a peak level of, you know, of yourself in fitness is being enhanced with steroids or anything like that. And
I agree with that.
It's not the truth. Like, you know, the work is where it comes from. No matter, I have friends that are on steroids, but I guarantee you their work ethic is 10 times worse, like harder than mine in a sense, because it's like they're not just doing it just thinking that's going to enhance them and that's it. They're putting in the work. Right. And they're already developed. These dudes are 25, 26, 30, stuff like that. These kids are 14, 15, 17, 18 trying to get on stuff and your body's not even developed. You know what I'm saying? So from now to then, like I've kind of like switched my purpose into like just trying to give more of a better message with fitness. Like, I don't want to necessarily be an influencer. Like, I'm not trying to influence kids off of this whole, like, the nice, cool stuff. Like, I want to influence them off of the mental. Like, fitness is it's more mental because if you train the mind, the body will follow. And it's like, that's what I want to be known for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be known for just an influence. Or he was dope. He sold a bunch of stuff for this company. Right. Or he was a top athlete. Like, my influence, I want the world to know in a sense like, okay, this man his message was trying to better the next generation.
I respect that, man. And that's the truth, bro, is like you're doing it because you truly want to make a difference in somebody's life, not because you want to sell a product. You know what I mean? And then I truly believe that in just in business or in a career in general, like when you operate from the heart because it's truly what your passion is, like you will succeed, you know? And it's cool, bro, because like you say, like, you know, you're talking about these kids that are going to college and really excelling in sports and doing that stuff, man. It's like that's the reason why you keep going, right? Because like you know that you've made an impact on somebody else's life. Like it's not about you anymore. You know what I mean?
It's
And like,
not.
that's kind of like where the point, the point I've came to in my life is like, it's not about me anymore. You know what I mean? It's about helping other people. And I truly, and I say it almost on every single podcast, man, that I truly believe that everybody's purpose on this world, in this world, is to help the next person.
It is.
And
Most definitely.
and you do that in like, bro, like you inspire so many people, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Regardless of the influencer part, it's like you being dedicated to what you do, bro. And like I see your Instagram shit, and you're in the gym, bro, and I didn't go to the gym that day. I feel like a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like I do, because it's discipline. You know what I mean? And like you coach a high school football team, bro. You know what I mean? Like you're helping kids, bro. Like that's very inspiring, man. You know what I mean? And you're humble. And a lot of people would think like, and I met him, you know what I'm saying? Like in the gym, the big jack guy's like, he's an asshole, you know what I mean? And he's just like better than everybody else. And like, you're not, man. Like you're a humble dude, and like you genuinely give a fuck. And I'll always remember that energy. Like when I first met you, you know what I mean? I was like, I seen this like big ass dude, and I'm like, oh dude, this guy's going to be an asshole, like, but you weren't, bro. Like you were humble. You were like interested in having a conversation, man, and humbly, and like, hey, if you're interested in fitness, like let's talk, and I respect that, bro. And I think that, again, like as long as you operate from that state, right, of like just genuinely like wanting to help, and I think you'll continue to succeed, bro. And like you said, even just in these like 4 short years, like how far you've come in your own personal life, you know what I mean? And it's not, again, like it's not about like necessarily the social media, but like just how far you've come as a person in your dedication and your mental, right? And in just 4 years, you know what I'm saying? Like you've accomplished, and again, I'm not you, but like it seems like you've done a lot mentally and a lot of work on yourself, going from a divorce to like being in the gym. And I can relate to that, right? Where, like you can work hard and you have this job, and like, like you can have this career, and then like you got to go home at some point, right? And it's quiet, and then like when you're, in the mix, it's different.
Hit you.
Bro, when it gets quiet, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where like you're forced to sit with yourself, and that's the battle of self, right? And that's the hardest battle in my opinion to really win, is that battle of self. And like I can understand that pain, right, of like going through something traumatic and trying to throw it into like work or the gym, but like at the end of the day, like eventually you're gonna have to go home and you're gonna have to sit with yourself. And if you don't have that self-confidence and that self-love and that self-respect, then you continue to beat yourself up and you fall back in that depression, right? And you've had every opportunity to take steps backwards, right? You've had every opportunity to fall back into a depression and the why me, you know what I mean? Like, or you can continue to move forward and like really put in the work, bro. And you continue to do that shit, it's something super inspiring, bro, and again, like I didn't even know about, again, like this is the first time I'm like hearing like your full story and like how you got there. But, it doesn't matter. And I say it all the time, like people only see what they see on social media, right? Yeah. Like they only see like what's on social media. They only see like all the time. What's in front of them, right? Like nobody knows anybody's story. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people probably didn't even know that like you went through that in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you fell into that depression, and you had your homie come up to you and say, "What the fuck's going on with you, bro? Like, what happened to you?" You know what I mean? I'm sure that fucking like really bursted your bubble, dude. The day that your homie came to you and said, "What happened to you?" Because like I've had that in my life, you know what I mean? Struggling with substance abuse and like deteriorating, bro. And it doesn't have to be drugs, man. Like depression is a bitch, bro. You know what I mean? You know how many people in this world like struggle with that silently, and like don't say anything about it, and they're happy giddy at work or in the gym, you know what I mean? But again, when they go home and it's quiet, right? And no one's around, like that fucking battle hurts worse than any pain I've ever fucking felt, dude.
No, I feel that. I mean, shit. To be completely transparent with you, man, going through that divorce shit, I partied.
Yeah, of course.
Like I was masking my pain with a lot of shit, bro. Yeah. Like, but it just came to a time where I wanted better for myself, because, it got to a point where it was like either I gonna make or break myself. And I was watching myself go down a black hole. Yeah. I'm not the type of person that's going to continue to, I see where I'm going. And, fuck it, just let me keep going that way. Nah. So when I started like revamping who I wanted to be, bro, I told myself I got to come out of this shit the strongest I've ever mentally, physically, anything, because I can never let myself get this low again. Never. Like, and I won't ever.
Yeah.
I won't. Like, it's just it's something in me now, bro, that I don't care what's in my way. I'm getting through it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've already been so low. I've been low a few times.
Yeah.
But going through that divorce, it was probably the lowest I will ever be.
Yeah.
And I don't, and it's not because I'm just this tough guy or anything like that. I feel like I've learned how to be better for myself and people around me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I've learned how to deal with like certain relationships and how to handle certain stuff like that. So I've been learning myself, so that way I do know how to evolve in a world where I'm trying to be successful in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So like in a sense where like you going back to when you said like, man, I thought this guy was, I probably back in the day, bro, I probably would have been a different kind of person. Came off and rubbed you wrong. And it's like, man, who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
But you know, the light that I was trying to shine at the time, like, is still who I am, and that's always who I was trying to be. But I've dealt with not having my dad in my life, or little childhood shit, the traumas that kids don't understand what they're going through at the time. But as you get older, you start to learn, and okay, damn, that's what I went through. So as I went through that divorce, it wasn't just the divorce that I learned about myself. It was a lot of stuff in the past, the prior stuff, me growing up. So a lot of anger that I'm holding on, thinking the motherfucker owe me something. That motherfucker don't owe me shit. Like, you're a grown-ass man. Like, stop thinking motherfuckers owe you shit. The only way you're going to get what you want coming for you is if you stop holding on to all this anger, let that shit go, be peaceful. And so I started, you know what, cool. I started to understand that I don't have to fuck with motherfuckers that have done me wrong, but I don't have to hate them.
There you go.
So I can, okay, you know what? I love you. Don't fuck with you. I love you though, but I'm choose to just move around it. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody put it to me this way one time, and they said that it's like a resentment, right? It's like what you're talking about. And it's like a resentment is basically like you drinking the poison and expecting them to die. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like when you hold resentment, it's literally like you're only fucking yourself up.
And you're not lying.
You know, and that's exactly how it is. And it's like, and I like how you said too, man, like through this whole like this kind of like process of you like changing and like pulling yourself out of that dark hole is like, it's not just like the divorce, right? Like it's like you kind of look at childhood things that you've been through that you didn't even know fucked with you.
And the only reason I had to go that far is because shit, I'm trying to figure out, well, why didn't this marriage work?
Yeah.
Like, what about me? Because it wasn't it wasn't me cheating, it wasn't her doing this.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck did, and it was like, yeah, we got married young, but other situations where now if I felt like, which I'm glad I did go through the divorce, first of all, I'm a completely
Everything
different
shapes
person.
you.
Exactly.
Yep.
But if I was this same person in that same marriage, it'd probably have worked.
Yeah.
Because the person that I am now would have been able to do shit differently, or she probably would have been able to do shit differently. But like I said, bro, I'm happy where I was able to come out of, because like you just said, man, it shaped me into the best version of myself.
Absolutely, bro. Like if you hadn't, I think everything happens for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm telling you, I've been through some traumatic things, bro, in my process of changing myself, and some shit that was completely out of my control that I'm like, why? What is the lesson in this? You know what I mean? Like some terrible things, right? But everything happens for a reason, bro. You know what I mean? Like every bad thing that I went through, right? And every, you know, don't get me wrong, I don't have many regrets these days, because it has shaped me to be the person that I am today and put me in position to be able to help other people. Had I not gone through what I went through, I wouldn't be in this position to be able to help others based off my own experience, based off my failures, based off my successes, you know what I mean? Based off the pain, the loss, you know, like I wouldn't be able to help as well as I feel like I can today, just based off everything that I fucking went through, bro. You know? And it's like when you live with regrets, man, like it doesn't do shit for you, bro.
It doesn't. It's like when people ask you like, how are you doing? Like, I can't complain. I mean, because if I did anyway, nobody gonna give a fuck.
You're right. That's the fucking truth, though, right? Like, even if I did, like, do you care? Like,
so it's like,
no, I love that. I love that, man. Like, that's the fucking truth, bro. And it's cool, man. You can really tell, like, you're focused, bro. And like, and again, I can't say it enough, like how much you do inspire other people. You know what I mean? and the humility, man. That's one thing that like I hope you never lose, you know, is that humbleness and, you know, just being open ears to everybody. And, you know, like as we acquire things in our life, like a lot of people, you know, kind of like they forget where they came from, you know. And I've watched it, you know. I've even seen myself sometimes like being like, whoa, Nick, like what the fuck you upset about, bro? You used to fucking sleep under a bridge with a needle in your arm, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you're pissed off about your thermostat not working in your apartment. The fuck?
Man.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's little things like that, bro, where like, you know, like I can get upset about the stupidest shit sometimes, bro. But I bring myself
Same
back
here.
to like, bro, you didn't have
Same
shit
here,
8.5
bro.
years ago, you
Same
know?
here.
And it's important to just like never forget that, man, of like, you know, not having shit, being helpless, hopeless, like spiritually fucking bankrupt, bro, you know? And I'm not there today. You know what I mean? Like I have a roof over my head. I have clothes on my back, man. I have good people around me, you know? And that in itself, just those minuscule things, bro, is like way further than I was 8.5 years ago, you know?
I hear you.
It's been super cool. You feel like there's like people in your life that, you know, have like helped you along like this journey that like inspired you to really like, you know, like you got other people that you can say, you know, like, hey, like this guy really like, you know, picked me up when I was down.
Shit, I got a group of motherfuckers that I can, you know, sit here and talk about.
Yeah.
You know, I got a pretty much a fitness group of creators that like, you know, my boy who's here, you know, your boy Sean Fury.
Shout out to Sean.
Shout out my dog Sean.
Yeah.
Shit, my girl trained with Bianca on IG and her husband E Vibes. My boy Danny, and shit. Besides that shit, you know, my girl for, you know, helping out the way she has like over the last year since I've known her. You know, she's definitely like helped in a sense where
is your girlfriend or
Mhm.
oh, so you got a girlfriend last year?
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
So it's kind of like taking it. I mean, we kind of like it's a little rocky right now.
Hey, bro, trust me, dog. I get it.
It's a little rocky right now,
Yeah.
but just to keep it real. But it's like she's definitely helped. You know, like she's taking a lot of stress off me as far as what I'm trying to do. So I'm grateful for that too. Very grateful for that. But other than that, man, shit. It's besides the people that I just named, like those people I know will go to war for me.
Right.
Dude, that's here, my boy Sean. Like I've only known him.
You only need one, bro, and you got a group. You know what I'm saying?
I've only known him 4 or 5 months, bro.
Yeah.
And the connection I got with this dude is fucking in like it's crazy, bro. Like we have a dope connection that just vibes. We're not the same type of person. He is. You've heard him talk.
Yeah.
We're not the same, but it's
Yeah.
like I ain't knocking who he is.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
what makes our dynamic work. You
I
know what
love
I'm
it,
saying?
brother.
Like I couldn't see me partnered up with the same type of version of
No,
me.
I'm the same way, bro. If you're like me, we're not getting along.
It's not gonna work. Like I just can't. It just won't work. But like, you know, me and him, we don't have falling outs, but we have these little times where we get on each other, blah 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 blah, and it might get heated and shit like that. But
Yeah.
it's never, like I said, we've known each other 4 months. So this, once it did one, it could have been to the word like, man, fuck you, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what, dog? I see where we both could have did this or did it, and it's
Yeah.
like it's always been able to smooth itself back out.
Circle back, bro.
And it's the
Circle
same
back.
way with, you know, my friend Bianca and her husband, which I don't ever get into it with B because she's a female. But me and her husband have had our little issues here and there.
Yeah.
But my dog Vibes, man, they got my back. Like, you know, they got a brand right now called Unamara. And it starts with, actually, this is the female that I was telling you about earlier when I called you. She has a brand right now called Unamara, and it's put it like, what is like putting yourself first? Yeah, so like the Una is like obviously first. Una is first, and then Mara is like the other part of what I just said. I can't remember. But yeah, so they got a brand right now, and you know, those are the only people that I really like.
Is it just like a personal growth program of some sort of like?
No,
what?
it's like it's a fitness brand.
Okay, cool.
So they're like
clothing or like okay.
So like I'm an athlete per se on their brand, but I don't care to make money off of them.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
you
I
just
want
repping your homies. Yeah,
exactly.
there needs to be more of that shit, bro.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy, dude?
Fuck,
How, fucking
I'm not
people
trying.
are.
You gave me a code, cool. I'm not. When I post the shit that you need me to post, I don't give a fuck about that code because I don't make the money that you need. And when you blow up, just know that I still want to be around and shit. That's
man,
it.
let me
Like,
get a couple t-shirts. We're cool.
I ain't worried about, like, you know what I'm
That's
saying.
cool,
But
bro.
that's just who I am. But those people right there, I know to go to war for me, bro.
That's
like,
awesome,
real shit.
man. You need that, man, and I say it all the time, bro. Like, you gotta have solid people in your life. Not a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's quality over quantity.
Too many, or you get oversaturated.
Straight up, though.
You get
It's
oversaturated.
the truth, man. And I say it all the time, man. Like, I got a lot of people around me all the time. You know what I mean? I've got a lot of acquaintances, you know. But there's only certain people that I'll tell you, like, that's truly my friend. You know what I mean? Like, and a brother to me. Most of my friends I look at as, like, brothers, right? There's a lot of acquaintances, you know, and there's a lot of people that I'm not fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that came along the way that, you know, that just decided to pop up and, you know, all of a sudden, like, oh, we're super close and this shit and that shit. But, like, I'm not dumb. If I lost everything I had tomorrow, right? And I say this all the time. If you lost everything that you had tomorrow, right? Everything that you worked for, if you had nothing, who would still be standing behind you? You know? And that's something that you got to ask yourself whenever you look at your circle is, like, who would truly still be standing there behind you? You know, who would still be the one to, like, not give up on you and still give you the same support that they give you today? And that's, like, just real shit, you know? It's something to think about, bro.
And it's funny because it ain't not one of them person that I can even think, like, to question, like,
yeah.
What? Not, like,
yeah, no, and that's good. That's when you know you got solid people in your corner, bro. And, you know, it's just something I've learned, man. I've had to learn the hard way, right? Like,
we all have.
You know, I've given individuals a little too much slack and, you know, let them into my personal life a little too much that I called a friend that switched up one day. You know, I've experienced that, you know what I mean? And I have nobody to blame but myself for that.
Yeah.
And of course, in the beginning, like, man, fuck that guy. You know, he fucking said this about me and that.
Nobody
and
but yourself.
he messed me. He screwed me over on this business deal. And Bob, we were supposed to be friends. You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro, I have nobody to be upset with besides myself for giving that slack. You know, it's just something that I always think about, man. I'm just really careful, man. Like, I have a pretty small circle, in my opinion, as far as, like, the people that I truly fully let into my personal life. You know, I try to be uplifting and positive to everybody and pour into everyone and give everybody my life experience. But, like, I learned my lesson the hard way on, like, who I truly let in and, you know, where I spend my energy, you know, and who I let have a piece of my energy. Because people will fucking take it sometimes, bro, and just drain your ass and then just step out on some fuck shit.
It's funny because, like, I don't know, well, like, I've always believed in energies and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's, like, just started to click more with who I was trying to become when I was going through that divorce. But it's like, that energy shit is real.
It is, bro.
Real, bro. Like,
the universe, bro, and, like, being spiritually aligned, like, is a real fucking thing, dude. Like, I have a perfect example. Like, last night, like, I don't ever dream about my dad, right? I haven't talked to my dad in shit, man. It's been 9 years, okay? And I never have dreams about my dad. I never, like, I don't ever, you know, obviously I think about him all the time. But as far as dreaming, bro, like, I don't really dream. I never dreamt about being with my dad and just him even being in a dream. And I dreamed last night that I was, like, with my dad. And we were, like, in my hometown. And it was, like, he was showing me this business that he opened. He's like a retired doctor. He's like, I don't know, you know, weird dreams get weird sometimes, you know what I mean? And then, like, this morning I'm walking my dog and my mom texted me and said that my dad had asked my little brother for my number. Mind you, again, I've been clean 8.5 years. You know what I'm saying? I've not spoken to my dad in 9 years because of the wreckage of the past, right? Because of the crazy shit that I used to be a crazy drug addict, and he's just that type of guy that's very doesn't have much emotion, and it's just, like, kind of cuts you off, like, type of thing, right? 9 years I have not spoken to my father, right? And my dad texted me today and said, I'm sorry I'm sorry, I'm done being an asshole. Hopefully you can forgive me in time. Okay? In 9 years. And that it made me very emotional, bro. But like,
but that makes me want to cry for you, cause like,
bro, like I've been fucking tearing up all day, dog, because like I've sent a text back, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna have a phone call with him, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
and I've been asking my father for that same phone call. He ain't disowned me for anything like that. He's going through my divorce, bro. That shit makes me emotional. Like, I was raised by my stepdad. My stepdad's name is Deonte. My name is Deonte.
Yeah.
But I know who my biological father is.
Right.
But my stepdad is
Yeah.
by far the man. That's I look at that dude like, because he raised me and didn't have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My biological father, bro, going through my divorce. I'm in Michigan, and I'm partying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
having a good time, bro. At the time, I get a phone call from my mom, and she's like, you got a moment? I'm like, yeah, what's up? And I'm like, you know, I've had little run-ins with the law here and there before in my life, so like, the way my mom is like, you got a moment, I'm thinking like, well, mom, like, what's up? What's up? Like, what's going on? So I duck off to the back. I'm at a little kickback where I'm like, duck off to the back, like, what's going on? She's like, I just got these papers today. I just like I wanted to read them to you. I'm like, well, what is it? Who are they from or whatever? I'm like, the fuck, I'm thinking it's like a warrant from my arrest or something.
Yeah.
The fuck? She's like, it's something from CPS. She's like, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna just send you a text. So she sends me a text, bro. It's paperwork filled out from obviously my biological father, but he had the woman that he was going to marry at the time. He's married to her now. He's going to marry her. And since he owes so much money in child support, he wrote a petition to the CPS and said I wasn't his son.
Wow,
and that shit
man.
fucked. Like, when it happened, like, I read that shit. I'm like looking at it on my phone, like, what the fuck? Like, I don't give a fuck. That nigga ain't my dad. No way. Just out of anger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going through all these emotions. I'm like, fuck him. I don't give a fuck. I got a dad. Bro, and I swear to God, I went back into the kickback, and I'm high as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just like everything's hit me. Like, I'm not even able to enjoy this high and be drunk and party no more, because it's like, what the fuck?
Started settling in. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, I remember when I was 14, I told you, why don't you let my stepdad adopt me? Because you don't even do anything for me anyway.
Yeah.
And he broke down and started crying, and I felt bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're writing a letter.
Exactly. So it's like, what the fuck? So that shit that's what hit me, because it was like, hold up, I remember all of this shit. And it's just like, what the fuck? Bro, that was in 2019, dog. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We haven't had a conversation since.
Really?
I rode in a car with him. This is how I know I've changed, because every conversation I used to have about him, I used to get infuriated. Like, fuck him. I don't give a fuck. Fuck him. Like, but now it's like, looking back at this shit, like, bro, you look dumb as fuck letting that man get you that out of character for what? For what? He ain't even here. And even if he was, like, now, like, I don't even acknowledge the dude when he's in the same room as me, because he's miserable now. Yeah. The shit that I was wanting, like, he feels like I owe him something. Yeah. But it's crazy, because, like, I just told my boy, like, a couple weeks ago, he tried to, like, reach out to him. Actually, I reached out to him. I would say I was being the bigger man, bro. Like, I ain't heard from him in 5 years, but he's doing, crazy as this shit sounds, bro, he's a construction worker. He does a lot of fix-it-up shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing work at my mother and my stepdad's house.
What? That's pretty bizarre.
Right. I don't feel comfortable being at my parents' house when I go to visit. So it's like, the fuck? Like, this is awkward as fuck. Yeah. So when I'm in there, like, I don't say hi to him. I just walk right past him or whatever. Even if he sees me, he doesn't. I don't care. Right. But one day, that shit just pissed me off so bad. It's because it's like, I don't even feel comfortable being here. And that's fucking crazy. This is my mom's house. Yeah. The fuck? Yeah. So I text him this long-ass paragraph. Like, look, bro, check this out. I just want to let you know, like, I don't have no bad blood to you. I just want to let you know that this shit has been going on for, like, 4 or 5 years now, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if you think that time is just going to make this shit better, but it's not. I've been waiting for you to step up and be a man, and you haven't. Like, bro, all you've showed me my whole entire life is you're a coward. Yeah. And I said, but I don't hate you. I said, I know you think that I have. I said, I don't have all that built up anger that you used to have me feeling. I said, I've already let that go. And I said, I need you to understand that. I said, I'm better. I'm in a better place now. And I know you hear about me. Like, everybody you ask, because he asks my mom, my stepdad, my sisters, like, he asks about me. all they can tell him, you see him, look at him on Instagram and blah, 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 blah. So it's like, you can tell it's like that shit fucks with him.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't reach out. You haven't done what I just did to try to make this shit better. You just think that, I'm going to check on him and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But you haven't tried to make this shit better at all.
Yeah.
So I did that. He hits me, was like, when I call you, you don't answer. Well, motherfucker, when you call me, I'm a certified plumber, bro. When he calls me, like, what's up, D? How you doing? It's not like, we're not friends.
Yeah.
So it's like, your demeanor is too uppity for me. It's
you
like,
just acting like I didn't see that letter.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're too uppity for me. And it's like, okay, what do you want? Because by the time he gets done saying, hey, how you been? And blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, by the way, I got this plumbing job over here at the house. I just want, click.
Yep. He said, click.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna acknowledge none of the shit that you did, but you on the phone with me trying to think, come on, bro, click. So it's like I said, bro, if we're not gonna talk about what you did and what you let this woman do, don't call or don't text me, dog.
Yeah.
I just sent you a message, and that's my last step or my last try.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with not ever going. If you die, dog, I won't even go to your funeral.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have any hate towards you. It's just who I am. Like,
Yeah.
I know how to live why would I go to it for what?
Yeah.
For I can feel hurt
Yeah,
for somebody that didn't do shit that I actually wanted you to do for me.
Yeah.
Like, all you needed to do be my dad, and you couldn't even do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't respect you, but I do respect you in the sense I learned a lot from you. I learned, and it's for the longest. This is how I knew I changed. I used to say, you never taught me shit.
Yeah.
You didn't teach. You know what that man taught me? The best things in life of what not to be in a man. So I respect him more than I respect my stepdad, because my stepdad taught me how to be a man, which I love him for.
Yeah.
But this man on the other side, I got the vice versa. What you could be or what you couldn't be.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I respect my stepdad tremendously. But back on the story with my dad, like, even after that shit happened, so he tried to set up a date with me. Set up a date. Long story short, whatever, he set up a date for, like, say a Wednesday. Bro, an hour before we were supposed to meet up, I'm at the gym working out with my boy, bro. An hour before we were supposed to meet up, he texted me and said, hey, bro, D, I won't be able to make it today. I got a doctor's appointment. I'm just like, whoa. Like, it's another one of those, like, nigga, you didn't know you had a doctor's appointment before this? Like, what the fuck?
Nah, bro.
So I'm just like, okay, whatever, cool. So I didn't reply. I didn't say shit. I just left it at that, because it's like, I've dealt with this kind of shit my whole entire life. I'm the kid that would pack my bag. Oh, D, I'm coming to pick you up. I'll be there. I'll be da-da-da. Pack the bag, and I'm that kid that got the bag at the door. Like, yeah, my dad coming. 8 o'clock come. Damn, dad ain't here. 9 o'clock come. He's still coming, though. 10 o'clock, 11, 12. Oh, yeah. Where you at, Dad? Oh, yeah, I'm going to come get you tomorrow. Like,
yeah.
And
bro.
that was repetitive.
Right.
Repetitive. So it was like, I realized this as a grown man now, and I didn't let that shit hurt me. Like, okay, whatever, cool. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
A week goes by, he calls my sister. I'm the oldest. I have a sister on his side. It's me and my sister, and I have another sister on my mom's side and a little brother. So I have 2 sisters and a brother. And she calls me like, you know, your dad just called me. I said, your dad? Like,
yeah.
Like, she's like, you know, he just called me. And I'm like, yeah, about what? I'm like, she's like, you know, he just asked him, like, you know, he said he missed you, Baba. I said, what the fuck? I said, he didn't tell you how he just flaked on me? She's like, what you mean? So me and my sister, she's like this with me. So she doesn't really trust him either. Like, 'cause he's done the same kind of wishy-washy shit with her. But she's like, hold on. So I tell her the whole story. She's like, hell no. This nigga on the other line with me talking about he missed you and da-da-da-da. He trying to, you know, he wants to reconcile, but he wants me to go to lunch with, he's trying to get my sister and his wife to go to lunch with me. I don't need them there to talk to you, nigga.
Nah, that's not.
This is between me and you, bro. Then that's how I know you're not a man.
Yeah. No, for sure.
I don't need my girlfriend to come do this shit with me. I want to talk to you like a man by myself, bro.
Yeah.
And you can't even get that to me. So I told him, I told my sister, look, check this out. I told him in my text the last time that this is my last text, it's my last phone call. I'm done. Like, I'm not doing this back and forth shit. Don't call me, don't text me, because I'm not going to answer.
Yeah.
That's it. That's over and done with.
Yeah.
Unless you want to sit down and make a date and come sit down with me, there's nothing after this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just completely done. She's like, okay, well, I'm going to call him back and tell him. So she called him back, told him the shit, blah, 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 blah. Bro, when I tell you this nigga didn't hit me up and say shit until like a couple days later, do you know what he did? The motherfucker sent me an invite to his birthday party that just passed Saturday. And I was like, bro, this shit is crazy. Like,
so you're supposed to pull up on him, right?
but it's just more ironic because you want me to pull up to talk to you at your party about this.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be happy and be haha taking pictures, haha kiki with you at a.
Yeah.
I said, bro, you must be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
First message.
Yeah.
I won't be there, just to let you know.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's my last text, and that's where I'm at. So what you just said, that bro, I don't even know if I'd fuck with him after.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Because of how much shit I've had to go through from kid to now.
Yeah.
And I'm so comfortable with knowing who I am, and I got a dad. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
So I need that closure for myself.
Yeah.
And you can't even get that to me.
100%. And I think the wishy-washy shit, right? Like with him going back and forth and standing you up, and like that's like worse than just straight silence. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're not about it, then don't be about it type shit. And I think like for me, right? Like my first couple years of like not talking to him, and you know, I did my part. Cause like, you know, don't get me wrong, bro. I was a fucking crazy ass drug addict, dog. Like don't give me shit. Like I was fucking shit up, you know? Like I was not a good kid by any means. And between me and my brother, rest in peace, like we fucked a lot of shit up. You know what I mean? Like but that's just, you don't turn your back on your son no matter what, right? And that's just something that my dad taught me, right? With doing the opposite, right? Is that I'll never turn my back on my child, you know? And my first couple years, I had resentment, right? I had a lot of that fucking anger and fucking fuck him, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I had that like for a couple years, and then like as I worked on myself, right? Like as I started to like have this like work on this like peace of mind, you know what I mean, and like learn how to like love myself, right, and have like self-worth, and like either it is or it isn't type of thing, right? Either way, I'm gonna be okay. And that's really like took 2 years of work, right, for me to get to that point to where like it either is or it isn't, but either way, like I'm gonna be okay, you know what I mean? And I used to like fucking, dude, I'd be in and out of rehab for 5 years. Or I'm sorry, 5 different times. I went to 5 different rehabs, bro, because I was in and out, just fucking drinking the poison, expecting them to die. You know what I'm saying? Like doing drugs because I had resentments towards other people, and I was emotionally fucking lost and shit. Yeah. And until I could get in touch with myself, right? Like that's how I learned that. Like a couple years later, I was like, you know what? Like it either is or it isn't. You know what I'm saying?